everybody.
Well, good evening, Sumter School District boys and girls, and welcome to a special edition of Reading with the Superintendent. Every evening we'll come to you with a different book and with a different special guest. And tonight, guess who we have joining us? The newly elected mayor. Well, good evening, Mayor Merchant. How are you?
Hey, Superintendent. Good to see you. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on becoming the mayor of a wonderful place.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a new guy. We got, I guess, came through our ceremony last Monday, sworn in, along with 3 new council people, and then it's been a whirlwind ever since. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I got the opportunity to come.
And as busy as you are, let me just say thank you for finding time to read to our wonderful little people.
Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't miss it, especially this time of year over winter break, and get to read a Christmas book and get the Christmas coat out and just get to have fun. Get to have fun this time of year.
So now that you've mentioned the coat, tell us a little bit about your snazzy coat, because I may have to go get one.
Well, this one's custom made, special made. I don't know. There's only one. So our family loves Christmas. We like to do lights in the yard. And so we were some event, some function that I was going to. And I said, I want a Christmas coat. And I went to the Goodwill store and found a brand new green tuxedo jacket. Still had the tag on it, believe it or not. And then went to Walmart and bought some red sequins and a red button and also a special Santa Claus.
No.
And went to the seamstress. Yeah, went to the seamstress and said, I've got a fun project for you. And she laughed and just put the coat together. And we break it out this time of year every year for the last little bit.
Well, I think it's pretty snazzy, so I guess I have to get to my seamstress to maybe get her to make me one like that.
That's right. Or you can just get a crazy Christmas sweater. Those are everywhere now, right? With cats and bells or whatever on it.
They are, and oddly enough, I've never had one.
Yeah.
I've never had a crazy Christmas sweater. And so tonight we're going to be reading a book about a very special person. And this book is How Santa Got His Job. And so this one is new for me, Mayor. Is this one new for you?
It is new for me. I kind of glanced at it here leading up to recording, and I think it's a very important book, to kind of understand how Santa got his job. And, that's why everyone goes to school, to hopefully get an education, to get a job. And so it's kind of neat that even Santa had to go through this.
Yeah, I'm wondering what lessons we're going to learn from Santa tonight.
I don't know.
How Santa got his job. And it looks like Santa's reading the classified section.
It is. Back in the day, I got a job by going to the classifieds, going to the help wanted. So I'm not sure if they do that now anymore or not.
Okay. Well, we'll find out.
It's all digital online.
Yeah. We'll find out though, because Stephen Krinsky has written about it, and it was illustrated by S.D. Schindler. So let's go ahead and engage in reading with How Santa Got His Job. Before we do that, I need to make sure that I have everyone's attention. So, Mayor, could you help me with this? Because usually I do a call and response. And so I'll call their attention by saying 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me. And then you and our students and our viewers will respond by saying 1, 2, all eyes on you. You think you can handle that part?
I got it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's go ahead and begin to read, but I need their attention. So 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me.
1, 2, all eyes on you.
Good job, Mayor. Good job. How Santa got his job. Let's see if he's doing a good job in this reading. So his first job was cleaning chimneys. Santa was sure-footed on even the steepest roofs, and he loved twisting through the tight spaces. But there was a problem. Santa was so neat that he never got covered in soot or made a mess in the fireplace, so nobody believed him when he was done. Where's the proof? Said some. You're not even dirty, said others. This led to a lot of arguments. Mayor, do you know what soot is? I always like to give our children the opportunity to expand their vocabulary. So can you help them understand?
So soot, so if you light a fire, most of us have been around a fire, I would think, here, and whether it's a campfire, maybe people burn fire in their house. Well, you take the wood, and just as the smoke and the ash and the things go out the chimney, over time it collects in the chimney walls. So it's like a black charcoal type material that'll build up. And so the chimney sweeper job, or cleaning chimneys, you have to go down and just scrub it and clean it off the walls of the chimney, because I know it was firsthand when I was a kid that we didn't do that for a few years, and we had a big fire in the fireplace, and it caught all that soot and ash and debris on fire up the chimney. And then our neighbors called and said, hey, you got a nice fire coming out the top of your chimney. So that's important to make sure, if you do, to get your chimney cleaned every year or so to get the soot off the chimney wall.
That's a great story, and it's a great reminder to make sure that we are safe.
Yep. So Santa worked for the post office next, where everyone could see what was doing his job. Santa's favorite part was bringing packages to people all over town. Waiting in traffic was frustrating, though. It's silly to waste all this time, he decided. To speed things up, he started making deliveries in the middle of the night. But there was a problem. No one was glad to see him at that hour. The postmaster got so many complaining letters that Santa had to leave.
So Santa had to leave the job. It seemed like he was doing okay.
He was creative. He wanted to avoid traffic and be more efficient, but people didn't want him knocking on the door and dropping off packages and letters at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the middle of the night. I think that was the problem with the postmaster.
I think so as well. Well, being resilient. Since Santa had discovered he'd enjoyed staying up late, he tried cooking an all-night dinner. I need you to repeat that one. We're human and we make mistakes, so I need to make sure I read it appropriately. So since Santa had discovered he'd enjoyed staying up late, he tried cooking at an all-night diner. One letter was missing. It felt good to fill orders for customers. Sometimes Santa even surprised people with extra helpings. Oh, I couldn't eat another bite, many of them insisted. Well, maybe just one, but there was a problem. Every night, Santa tasted and sampled and tasted some more before he brought anything out of the kitchen. He gained a lot of weight. I think a lot of people went through that when we first started quarantining.
We did, and then through Thanksgiving and now Christmas goodies, we're still going through that. We need to watch that. Hoping to get some exercise, Santa then found a spot at the zoo. He was very organized about the animals. I know when they are sleeping, said Santa, and when they are awake. Over time, he also learned whether they were behaving themselves or not. But there was a problem. Santa became close friends with the reindeer, and all the other animals got jealous. Sadly, the zookeeper had to let him go.
Mayor, do you have reindeer pets?
No, I don't. I wish I did, though. Wouldn't it be awesome to go to the garage and hook the reindeer up and fly around? I think that would be fun. That'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely would. By now, Santa was starting to get discouraged. He didn't even notice what the reindeer were doing behind him. They worked hard to cheer him up. I think sometimes we all need to be cheered up.
Absolutely. So, in an effort to cheer up, together they joined the circus. Soon the reindeer were shooting Santa out of a cannon 3 times a night. Santa liked flying through the air and wearing his new costume. He was a big success. There was a problem. The ringmaster wanted to build up the suspense. You need to look frightened, he told Santa. We want the crowd to worry about you. But Santa was having so much fun that ho, 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 he always cried as he flew through the air. So the crowd wasn't worried at all.
Can you do that one more time? How did he cry? What did he say?
He cried ho, ho, ho as he cried.
Good job, good job.
And so he was having fun flying through the air. I don't know, would you have fun flying through?
I don't think so.
No, no flying.
I would adhere to what the ringmaster
You'd ride in a sleigh with the reindeer, though.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. And a jaguar.
That's right.
The angry ringmaster soon fired Santa and the reindeer. Oh my. As they gathered their things, some elves came looking for autographs. When they heard the news, they invited Santa and the reindeer home for supper. The elves lived way out of town. They were toy makers, and their house was their workshop. I think I could work there, man merchant.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
All those toys.
Santa was amazed. Children must love these toys, he said. The elves looked embarrassed. They only made toys for their own pleasure. Selling was too much trouble. What if you give them away, Santa asked. The elves hadn't even thought of that. I could deliver them for you, Santa offered. There were enough toys here for children all over the world. The elf smiled and hired him on the spot.
Wow, so he didn't even have to interview or fill out an application.
No, I think the only place their toys were going were like Cracker Barrel with the little tic-tac-toe game on the table, I think, is where. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the little game? Those elves made those.
Well, I like more. I don't know if they made this at Cracker Barrel, but I love their chicken and dumplings.
Oh, yeah, they may.
The elves made Santa a special sack that was always big enough no matter how many toys were put in it. Then they built him a sleigh. The polar bears offered to pull it. They were very strong and whipped Santa across the snow. But there was a problem. Oh, this problem must be bigger than big.
It was the biggest one yet.
Let's see what happened to Santa. It was the biggest one yet. Uh-oh.
To Santa's surprise, this problem could be solved. Santa and the reindeer practiced together every day. They made a few mistakes at first, but soon they learned to work as a team.
I think teamwork is important, especially before you get a job.
Mm-hmm.
In the darkest part of winter, when people need their spirits lifted the most, Santa got ready to go. As the elves said goodbye, they gave Santa an emergency kit. It held a compass, ski goggles, cough drops, and other things. Santa thanked them very much. All his jobs had taught him it was good to be prepared. I think the kit that they created or developed for Santa was good. I would have only added one special thing to the kit. What would you add?
I'd have put a Snickers bar in there.
Well, I was going to say a package of Oreo cookies.
That would work too. But you got to have milk if you got the Oreo cookie. I don't know if that would last in the kit.
Yeah,
unless it was a cooler. It could have been a cooler.
Or maybe we can replace the polar bears and the reindeer.
That's true. There you go. That's a great idea. Then Santa and his reindeer took off. That first night was a little hard because Santa was still learning about shortcuts and the high winds. But at last he got the hang of it. Ever since then, the elves have made toys all year, and Santa has given them away in one night. He loves his job as much as ever now, and he's gotten pretty good at it over the years. Still, he always keeps his emergency kit close by.
That's nice that Santa's taking into consideration children all over the world. But there's one lesson that he learned, that the delivery of these toys allowed him to recognize that this job was absolutely perfect. Wow. I'm glad Santa had those experiences. Mayor Merchant, what do you think the takeaway message would be for our viewers?
I think I think you just said it. The takeaway is that you have different experiences in life. Just students now and adults still, we have these experiences, and even Santa's experiences, but you build off of each experience and take the lessons learned from the prior one to use moving forward. And just to whatever your next job or your next task or project is at school, you just can remember what you've come from and the experiences you've had, and then do it to the best of your ability.
Well, I think you said it beautifully, and I don't think it needs to be reiterated, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I think the other lesson that I learned is even though Santa was released and acquired other jobs, he was resilient. And I think resiliency is very important, especially during these times, because no one can predict tomorrow, but it's how you confront it and address it and deal with it and then bounce back up.
Absolutely.
I think that's important. Well, Mayor, I know that you're very busy, but I am so appreciative of you and your opportunities and the opportunities you've given for our children to read with us tonight.
Well, this is great. I appreciate the invite and look forward to doing it in the future. Thank you for having me.
And I'm going to take you up on that offer. Happy holidays to you and yours, and have a happy new year if I don't see you.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much.